I'm looking good, what's the deal? Cash money in my hand, fuck a deal. Say I'm goody, on the block giving deals. Dance with me, it's the family. You give voicemails if you can't give me.
It was a keyboard called Insonic. It was a keyboard basically that had a workstation inside. So all of the musical instruments was there, piano, drums, everything was there in that one thing. This is why they call it a workstation. So I started with that, was taking meetings and stuff like that, and I kept hearing, your drums is not hard enough. Drums is not hard enough. Drums are hard enough. I don't like that shit. As a drummer, like, you know what I'm saying? Went from that to a Roland XP50 keyboard, another workstation. Same thing. The beats is dope, but the drums is not hard. And then one dude, instead of, it's one thing to just say what's not happening or what you don't have, but what's the solution? You know what I'm saying? I could just be like, yo, you ain't got that. Now, you don't got that, but you could do this. And now that helps you grow in that area. So one, A&R dude was like, you should get you like an SB, SB 1200 or like a MPC. And I was like, all right, cool. Yo, the MPC was $1,300.
I was about to ask you actually how you even was able to afford
it. The MPC was $1,300. The MPC didn't come with any sounds. So you had to create your sounds, you had to sample sounds, you had to get drums, you had to, it wasn't no packs. There's a lot going on, there's a lot of cheat codes today. New. Nah, because it was hip hop. So it was frowned, like it was really, like I really had a hard time growing up because they just didn't like it. And it wasn't so much of the music aspect, they didn't know how to separate the two. And I would say all the time, I'm not the rapper, like I'm not the one that's saying the curse words, man. I'm hear the music, you hear the beat, that's what it is. And years later, before I really popped off, my mom was watching MTV. And that's when they had MTV Cribs. Swiss was on the episode, and she didn't know who he was. She was like some boy named Swizzles. So he, as a producer, she just remembered producing. So she called me in the room. She was like, "Hey, Dad, what you do?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "The boy in the house." I was like, "Yeah."
That makes sense, right? Yeah. Gotcha.
Your mom's just like, "Why you didn't say that?" So at that moment, it was a level. It was me having to be mature and realized that they didn't know what it was.
Gotcha.
Because I could have taken that differently and got mad. Like, oh, now, you want to support me now, you want to do this now, you want to push me. But at the end of the day, they sacrificed and put me in the school in the first place.
Gotcha.
So they already invested from the gate without even knowing that they were investing in me in my future. Foxy Brown, my first placement official that was released, Cradle to the Grave soundtrack. Actually produced the theme song for that movie and soundtrack. First release, my brother Gavin Marchand put his name on the album as credit as a record producer. I definitely made the beat in my living room, and he wasn't there. So put his name on it. He had a relationship with Def Jam. Foxy Brown signed at Def Jam. Told them he produced it, so they paid him the first half of the check. So I had to, the credits was already out, so I couldn't do nothing about that. So I had to figure out who to get to at Def Jam, prove to them I was a producer, so I can at least get paid the other half of the production fee.
You had to prove?
Prove.
And how would you even prove?
I mean, thank God for the session.
Yeah.
The session, basically then they're loading the shit up like, these are the sounds. This is the sample, because it was a sample in it. I think I sampled Surface, or Regina Bell, I think. And gave the sample information and all that type of stuff. But that's how I learned like the hard way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And in that moment, what did that you take away from that incident?
Well,
how did it change you?
I was pissed. I wanted to fight. I remember that like they were on Radio Flex. And I called like my brother. I said, "Yo, we going on the 187 right now." I was like, "Nah, don't do that." But it was definitely a learning experience. After that, I found out about a book called Everything You Need to Know About the Music Business. Picked that book up.
Donald Goodman, right?
Yeah, Passman.
Passman.
Picked that book up and just taught myself everything, man. Everything. And for years, I was like managing and handling all my paperwork and everything like that on my own. I knew what everything meant, publishing, royalties, splits. Like I figured everything out and just negotiated my own deals for years. You know, what's missing today is the connection. Like I had meetings. Like we would go up to the labels and you would sit down and you would pop, you know, I went through the cassette tape phase. I had my beats on cassette tapes, I had my beats on DACs, I had my beats on CDs, to now, you know, gig sticks or whatever. So I went through all of those different phases and, you know, you met with people. And there was a family friend by the name of Buck Wild, producer Biggie produced, he's another hitman, one of the original Bad Boy Hitman producers. And my mom and his daughter's godmother were like best friends. And she was like, you know, my son is kind of like doing the production stuff. You know, you want to talk to him or take him around or take him to your house or whatever. And he did that. Went to his crib, watched him create and do all of that. And then went with him to the studio. And one night he met and played beats to LL Cool J, Missy, Busta. This was all in one night. And it was that night, I never forget it. Young in school, 15, 16 years old, probably younger than that, and was like, this is what I want to do. I used to say I'm a producer. And then as the game changed, I said I consider myself both, right? Back when I started, we were going into the studio actually working hand in hand with the artists, with the engineers, like, you'll say it like this, or, you know, add this, or say it like that, or add this chorus, add this hook. And that's producing. So, and I feel like it's unfair to us as creators for people to categorize us or put us in a box in regards to what we are based off of what we're not able to do. You know, so we're in, you know, you use the word microwavable, or everything is fast and quick. Nothing is really about a connection. It's just like, it's times where I make records and they don't even know it's mine. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's sending beats through, everybody's hitting up the email address, and you don't know, you know, who's who. If I'm Fab and you're an engineer, or J-Lo, whoever, you're not at the computer downloading each beat, or, you know, your engineer is doing that. So we're in a session and I want to hear some beats, pull up a phone and start playing beats. You don't know who it is. The engineer really ain't paying attention, you know, I'm talking about back then, they ain't really, you know, okay, this is produced by so and so. I didn't have my name on it, I didn't just send the beats to it, just in the email with my name on it, you know what I'm saying? So it's just different now. And you're not allowed to really go in and create as you were able to. So now is why I consider myself both. Producer, hands-on, build the track from scratch, you know, work on the vocals, mix the record, all of that, that's producing. But if I'm just sending you and emailing you a beat, you going in with your own team, your own squad, you recording a song, the next time I hear the songs when it comes out, that's a beat maker. I just made the beat. 100% of a song, 50-50. I'm a producer, I get 50. Let's say he's the artist and he's a songwriter, he gets 50. My 50 is not touched. When it comes to the songwriting, when it comes to the melody, my 50 as the producer is not touched. His, as a writer, as the melody, as the lyrics, if y'all create, y'all go figure that out over there. Again, mine is not touched. The only way mine is touched is if I sample a record, meaning that I took a piece of whatever song, if I took a piece of the boot up, I took the drums and the melody and recreated that and sampled it, then I would have to get permission from LMA and whoever wrote that song for me to use that. Yes. So if I 100% created that song and that track by myself, I got 50%. Now, if we produced it together, fair way to do it, 25-25, still you 50. Right? Now what if all four of us created it? What if you did the drums, right? What if you did a bass line? What if you did the keyboards, right? You know, what if I did percussion? Now, that shouldn't be 50% split in four. That's not fair. Now, if you want to be cool and say, hey, all four of us worked on this record, let's just bust it down between four of us. You could do that. I've done that plenty of times, but if you want to really, really get to it, you know, you would discuss, okay, you did the congas, okay, that'll get you about 7. All right, you did the bass line, maybe about 10. All right, you did the melody, you did this, maybe about 15, maybe about 20. So you can do it however you want to do it. Again, songwriters, 50, producers, 50. Now, for me, when I started out, it was just me. So I owned, all of my publishing. So again, if we wrote a record, as the artist, me as the producer, he has his 50, I have mine. Now, where it can get shaky is, not shaky, but you have a thing where you do a publishing deal. You can do a publishing deal, or you can do an admin deal. Now, if you do a publishing deal, let's say, for instance, I'm signed to BMG. So they have BMG, they have Sony, they have Universal. Universal will say, man, you wrote 10 songs, you've worked with Chris Brown, you wrote Trey Songz, got a nice little catalog. We're gonna give you $200,000 as an advance. We believe in you, you have XYZ amount of work out here, we feel we can collect from what you have out here, we're gonna give you 200 grand. Now, so you have 200 grand. Sounds amazing, doesn't it? Cool. Now they say, we're gonna sign you to 4 songs at 100%. Here's where you pay attention. 4 songs at 100%. Now remember, as a producer, I only have 5. I only have 50, thank you. I have 50. Sounds like it's something that you could just do. My son is 13. I've been in my publishing deal for 14 years. Tell you why. I'm a hip hop producer. So I sample. So when I go sample Otis Redding over here and use it on a Lil Mo record, and Otis Redding goes, well, I want 75% to use my song. Right? Lil Mo can go, all right, well, cool. Let's split the 25. She doesn't have to, because technically my share is gone. I'm the one that sampled it. I'm the one that created the beat, so I should take the hit. So I don't get any publishing on that record. So it's a placement. The song is out, it's popping, but I get no publishing.
But you might get a royalty check.
Right.
You're not going to
but
get
no publishing. Right? So even though that song is out, it doesn't count towards our agreement. So imagine having 10 of those songs where it's the same situation. I think it's a record for the game. Same thing. Sample one at 65%. My 50 is gone. So I had a whole bunch of those records where I didn't have any publishing, so I couldn't, what's the word I'm looking for? Basically fulfill my obligation because of those records being samples. Now what if it's 50 people on one song? So let's say, for instance, if it's all 4 of us produce this record, we split the 50. So now I got, what is that?
12.4.
Right. So I have 12. But mind you, I told you I got 4 songs at 100%. So if I got a record that has 12, I got a record that got 5, I got records that got anywhere from 50 to 2 to 3. You have a whole bunch of those and still not add up to the 4 songs at 100%, right? So that's one part. The second part is, it has to be official, released, worldwide songs. So little homeboy over there, that don't count. Mano decides to put your record on a mixtape, that don't count. Chris Brown decides to put 4 of your songs on a mixtape, that don't count. Official, released, worldwide songs. Major labels. So now this is, mind you, my son is 13, I've been in this deal for about 13, 14 years. The dynamic has changed now because of the technology, because of streaming of all of these different things. So now the deals are being structured differently to fit where we are in the music era, but I'm talking about when I first started to where we are now. You're willing to spend $5 or $20 to get a beat to use, to borrow, versus really investing in yourself. Imagine if you went and bought these, right? Excuse me, went and leased these, right? So he walked in here today with these joints, right? As soon as you got home, I was waiting at your crib like, You done? You done? Now, I like how you flipped it. Watch what I'm gonna do to this shit. But watch what I'm gonna do to your shit, because it's yours, and I'll lease it too. So you lease it for $5, I'll lease it for $5. So when you're done, all right, cool, let me borrow these. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, and these are your sneakers I'm talking about. Would you do that? Would you do that with your sneakers? Would you do that with women with your lashes?
That's not sanitary.
Soon as you know, I'm saying, I had to pick something personal. I had to pick something that you love. You just come home and you just came home, went on a date, and you're like, and your friend is sitting right next to you like, let me get him, girl. Let me get him. I'll lease them things. Let me get him. How would you feel? So if you wouldn't do that with these, you wouldn't do that with the lashes, you know, why would you do that with your craft?
Gotcha.
Why would you do that with something you love? When you write a song, you're giving us your heart and soul. You're giving us what's inside. So that should be used to the best of your ability. And you don't have to come to see me for a track. There's producers that are amazing, you know, that might say, hey, give me $100. Give me $500. You know, you go out to dinner, you go to the movies, the new 11s comes out, you're online. The new babes are out. This is a whole nice outfit right here. Well put together. Got your, you know, the twister. All that costs money. So why, when it comes to your career and your craft, are you willing to take a cheaper route? You know, and it goes to about it being, you know, they make the statement about that, you know, quality over quantity. You'd rather lease tracks, have an album of leased tracks versus having one record that you paid for, hard-earned money, paid for, invested in yourself, and have one smash, one quality track that belongs totally and solely to you. That's your own identity as an artist, as a creative person. Back to that word, relationships. That's key, man. You can be the most talented individual in the world, but it's more so the relationships that allow you to continue to work. And I think people really miss that. People think, you know, I'm the shit, I'm dope, I'm really, you know, there's a lot of, you know, as a musician, there's a lot of talented drummers that can, you know, play circles around me that's home. Why? Because they don't have the right energy and the right spirit of just wanting to be and just be in a room and make the room better instead of just me shining in my own area. You know what I'm saying? So it started with, you know, and it was funny because this was the same platform that I was actually on, which allowed that opportunity to come about. And somebody introduced me to somebody, this is years ago, and you know, I submitted some music for like you said, the background music. And it was simple. It was just like, all right, we need 10 tracks, you know, trap 10 tracks, 30 seconds a track, 15 grand.
Whoa.
And that's it. And you know, you get it done. They give you about 2 weeks, whatever. I turn them in. They'll give you examples, 2 Chainz, T.I., Jeezy, well, I turn them in, and they're like, oh, this shit is fucking incredible. And ain't no politics, and you know, oh, you need to add like a different type of snare, because you know, because you always have that guy or girl where it's like A&Rs and everybody won't do too much and everybody just won't be a part of something, everybody won't just change something, and you know this shit is fire, but you know, just for you to feel better about your pride and ego, you want to say, I would have added a shaker right there. Shaker, bro. So that's how it came about. You know, I delivered that, and the music director, invited me to speak at his college. And I'm gonna tell you a story real quick and we can move on, but it's important. And I was living upstate New York, and the college was in Connecticut. College has got money. First thing I was like, what's the bag, man? And he was like, no, this is my class, it's just nothing, you know. I was like, all right, cool. What about gas?
Yeah, of course.
She was like, yeah, there's no budget, boom, boom. So I was like, nah, you know, I'll get you on the next one. You say, sure, yeah, I'll get you on the next one. Hung up the phone. Thought about the shit, I was like, this is the same guy that gave me an opportunity to produce these scores, excuse me, for ESPN. Called him right back. I'm coming through. Oh, sure, cool, thank you, right? Go there, do the panel's over. He's like, let's go to lunch. No fancy shit, I'm gonna take you out of Subways. I'm like, all right, cool. I want the tuna, Foot long, pause. Provolone cheese, Chipotle mayo, the peppers. I'm just setting it up for you. The peppers, the oil and vinegar, salt, pepper. Sat down, mad hyped. I love Subways. Starts talking, goes, man, I've been trying to get to Tyler Kweli for the longest, man. We're trying to get this theme song done, and I can't reach Kweli. I was like, that's my man. We did records with him. You know, the lady that I was with at the time, you know, was on tour with him, so I was like, fam, right? So I was like, well, I'll, you know, hook you up with Kweli. Took a little bite of the sandwich. Who's doing the beat? And he said, we haven't figured it out yet. And I was like, well, what's up? He was like, okay, right? Got the joint, they picked the beat. Now it's supposed to be Tyler Kweli and Mos Def. Mos Def. Super difficult.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Super difficult, right? He wanted to change this in the track, the shaker situation.
He's a professional.
Just have a shaker to be crazy. So they ended up not going with him. Ended up using Wale. Wale's a, you know, kind of a fan of the First Take show, Wale. Wale is like, well, you bring my homeboy on, Stolly, it's a part of MMG. Got the theme song done. Long story short, if I didn't go speak at the school, if I didn't make the sacrifice, and if I didn't think about the relationship and how he was a blessing to me and how I was able to return the blessing and to be a blessing to those students for free, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to create not only one, but 2 theme songs and be able to score ESPN every day, and this is no lie, every day on the show, there's at least 6 to 7 tracks that play every single day besides the theme song that plays every single day.